real quick about last night. The group that was at training, we played against the 2010 RL team, and we tried a different playing shape. And it was very fast introduction to a different shape, and we really wanted to overload. And by me, I meant we wanted to overload them against a really good team and try to like figure out, can we play in different shapes? We're very familiar with the 4-3-3, which you see on the screen here, with the back four, 3 in the midfield, and then 3 across the front. So the shape that we moved into was 3 in the back system, which, as I explained to the players, I thought really suits this group really well. So I'll kind of show you what it looks like and how this shape becomes that shape. And as we looked we wanted to take, instead of having our 6 be in front of our center backs, we're going to move the center back in between the center backs. So now that we have 3 center backs across that space. So this allows our 6, our holding midfield player, to face forward. Now, as you can see, the 5, 6, 4, there are 3 vertical channels on the inside. We now occupy those 3 channels. So now we have players that are in those 3 channels. This allows our outside backs, or now wing backs, to get wider and higher. Our 2 center midfielders that remain become the 2 6s, so the 8 and 10. And then the wingers before get to come inside and sit inside these vertical channels matched with the wide center backs. So the idea is, in our world, often the 4-3-3 is a shape that we see a lot. Now we're able to play with these 4 players in that central channel, looking to outnumber teams that often play with 3 in the midfield. This also allows, and this also fits our outside backs or our wing backs, but like profiles, so how they play, them to get more forward. We have some really good athletic tools. We have some really aggressive players in the width that can get forward. And if you look from an attacking perspective, we now have players that are able to occupy all 5 channels. So again, if you're looking at how we can attack, we cover the whole field in attack, which makes the opposition have to cover the whole field in attack as well. So as we kind of break this down off, and we talked about, that allows us to attack with 5 players, potentially 6, depending on a player joining. But then it allows us then to also defend with 5 players. So the transition, I asked them after practice, I said, what was hard? And they said, well, defending shape, transition. So this is what we're going to look like. When we lose the ball, we want our wing backs to reconnect. We're not going to go all the way back yet to make a back 5. But we want them to reconnect. So you can kind of see this like little bowl-shaped connection. So we want them backing in, and we're still looking to deny those spaces in between. The 2 high attacking mids. So if we had 2 6s, or 2 holding midfield players, and now we have 2 attacking midfield players, just like they would in our shape before, they're going to come back and reconnect with their 2 center midfield partners, denying the ball into these spaces. And then our 9 is here to try to cut the game in half against the opposition. So very similar shape, and that's what we said, is like, if you look at this, it's very similar to what we used before, but instead of having a player here, we're just putting the ball in between, so that now we have more players that are able to face forward and try to outnumber teams in that first line. So then as we regain the ball, can we get higher up the field? Can we sit in these little pockets and these little zones, as you can see with our field markings? Can we get these players higher and occupy those 5 spaces? This does mean there's a lot of work for the 2s and 3s and the 7s, 11s, because again, this is not meant to be a 2 center midfield shape. This is meant for us to play with 4. And again, we'll work on some of this flexibility and mobility. And as I mentioned to the team last night, the idea is that we are able to try this on Sunday against the 2010 MPL team. It's something that we need to have as another shape that we can play in. The more shapes we can play in, the better it is for us. I hope this helps, and we'll see everybody on Wednesday.